Hello, everybody! We're going to be playing some Tyranny for the first time, because I've never played it before, and I want to see what it's like. What do these buttons do? Okay, cool. So, from what I've understand so far of this game, you play as the big bad guy. So let's just jump right in and see how it goes, you know? New game settings. Normal difficulty requires strategy and efficiency, but forgives few mistakes in combat. Companion combat AI is enabled by default. Is suited for veteran players of isometric RPGs such as Pillars of Eternity who are looking for a challenge. Survival requires micromanagement and optimization of stats through items, spells, abilities, enemy AI, and is more efficient and uses abilities more frequently. Disables the number of helper features in the game. Only one save slot is permitted. If your party is defeated, the game ends. Save is lost. Okay, so there's some intense settings here that I'll just go for normal for now.
For over 400 years, the armies of Kairos the Overlord have swept across the known world. All who stood against them fell before their might. Even the Archons, women and men of immense power, were forced to kneel, chained to the Overlord's will. Now Kairos' final conquest has come to our corner of the world, and two of the Overlord's armies compete for the honor of taking our lands. The elite disfavored, and the teeming horde of the Scarlet Chorus. The voices of Nerat, spymaster and Archon of secrets, guides the fierce and undisciplined masses of the Scarlet Chorus. With each battle, the Scarlet Chorus grows stronger, as the defeated are given a simple choice: serve or die. Graven Ash, Archon of War and the Overlord's most loyal general, leads the disfavored. Though small in number, Kairos' ironclad legion has never met true defeat in open battle. Watching over the two generals is Tunon, the Adjudicator, Archon of Justice, eldest of Kairos' minions. Tunon brings Kairos' laws to newly conquered lands, aided by the Fatebinders, judges and executioners of the Overlord's laws. You were among the youngest of the court of Fatebinders when Kairos' armies came to our lands. How could we have known that the fate of thousands would rest in your hands?
Wow, they seem like a bunch of fucking pricks. Ooh. In the Northern Empire where you were born, and women enjoy equal protections under the laws of Overlord Kairos. In the southern lands of the Tiers, women may crew a ship, but only men may own or captain a vessel. While these customs give the oceans to the men, lands are trusted to the women. Men may rent and lease, but only women may own land and bequeath it to their daughters and sisters. While following a parent's progression is standard, many women chose to pledge service to one of the Overlord's powerful Archons. Those without a viable trade or lands to call their own are often drafted in the armies of the Archons, where it is assumed they will rise to glory or vanish in the obscurity of accordance to their worth. In the Northern Empire where you were born, men enjoy equal protections in the laws of the Overlord Kairos. In the southern lands of Tiers, only men may own or captain ships. Same thing. Most sons enter their father's profession by their mid-teens. Those without a profession or family lands to work can find purpose by pledging service to one of the Overlord's mighty Archons. Criminals, derelicts, and others are often conscripted into armies of the Archons. Child cannot forge his own skein. He will certainly find one in battle. Just a lanky white guy. Hmm. Hmm. Let's just go with that. I'm an artist. I'm molding him. I'm molding. Where's the ponytail? Hell yeah. That's where we're going. He's gonna be a little ginger. Mustache.
That wasn't so hard.
Nope.
I'm injured, tired. Let's rest.
Love it. Tattoos. Hmm. You need something that looks like Rand's dragon tattoos. Ooh. Mm. Oh. Not dragons, but they're on both arms. I'll take it. Colors. We full ginger boys. Let me just hear this guy's voice again.
Will do.
Hmm.
Interesting. To bat. I must rest soon.
I wish he just had the voice of Conquest. But Meat Canyon's version of Conquest.
Try on the women's panties.
Okay. Anyways. History. How did you join Kairos' army? Pit fighter, hunter, guild. Oh, lots of descriptions. Lawbreaker. Accused of a crime you most certainly did commit. You stood before Chanan, the adjudicator, Archon of Justice, and argued your case with the eloquence and conviction. Impressed by your logic, reason, and confidence, he found you guilty anyways. It is rumored that Tunon selects many of his agents from his prisoners, who better to catch the wicked than those who versed in such ways. In his mercy, Tunon offered you the choice of two sentences: decades languishing in prison, or lifetime serving him in the court of fate binders. The choice was an easy one, and instead of seeing the inside of a cell, you're trained in letters and numbers, magic and war. The laws you once broke are now yours to interpret and enforce. Fuck yeah, we go with smash skulls. You're trained in the following combat skills. Um. Uh, kind of like the idea of just punching people to death. Unarmed fighting is one of the more challenging combat styles. Damage is generally lower, but this is offset by the speed of your attacks. Good style for someone interested in being challenged while fighting unarmed. The dodge skill is used to avoid melee attacks rather than parry. Fuck it. Palm strike, flurry. What are these things at the bottom? Oh, secondary expertise. Okay. Bows. Heart shot. Hell yeah. My banner. What the fuck? Oh, is that the thing behind me? Okay, cool. Gingers? Oh, yeah, I'm gonna be fully ginger here. Colors. Red. This. Also red. This darker red. No. This red. No. Green. No. What also looks like blood. Or a ginger's hair. So many things to choose. Ooh. Yeah, that's cool. The Black Fist. Gone. Duplimos. Gone. Duplimos. Might determines the physical strength of your character. I got 8 points. Well, I'm gonna do might, quickness. Wait. Fuck my health. I want to be smarter. I just don't know much about creating characters like this, so I am lost. Ooh. Let's kind of like spread them across like that a little bit. Conduplemos. Ooh. Okay. Points. Unarmed, I want to 35. This to 35 as well. Don't care about literally any of that shit. Just fucking rise these bastard skills. Hell yeah. Or is determine his character's ability to decipher information put together. Ooh, maybe I want some more. How do you want to continue? Selecting Conquest option will allow you to play through Cairo's Conquest of the Tiers, choosing how your character was involved in the invasion. This gives you the most control over the starting state of the game and how other factions react to your character. Hell yeah, let's do some conquesting.
All the world has fallen to Kairos, and now the Overlord's eye is on the Tiers, our home. The last corner of the world free of Kairos' reign. 2 armies, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, march south from the Northern Empire, the last realm to fall to Kairos a century prior.
Very interesting.
In the early days of 428, Kairos' armies arrive at the Gates of Judgment, the mountainous border that we Tiersmen so long believed unassailable. Unable to agree on a unified plan of defense, the various leaders of the Tiers sit and wait for each other to deal with the conquerors, until it's too late.
Okay. They're setting up something. During the conquest, you'll decide your character's actions during Kairos' invasion of Tiers, shaping the world throughout which you will adventure over the course of the game. Each choice you make affects your character and how major factions and Tiers respond to you. Your decisions matter. Choose wisely. Ooh, we're getting in. Oh. The Bastard City stood on the northern border between Kairos Empire and the Tiers. Built upon a natural harbor at the crossroads between realms, the city was a nexus of commerce. To the Tiers, it was the center of all wealth. To a northerner, it was little more than a backwater trading post. Its symbolic status as a gateway to continent made it a natural first target in Kairos' military conquest. Circumstances were ideal for you to prove your worth as a soldier in Kairos' army. Taking the city would send a message to the rest of the Tiers. Kairos' will is insurmountable. Oh, wait, what? Both armies are sent to their forces to prepare their way. In the first major engagement of the war, Kairos' army crossed the mountains and established foothold. Armies of Kairos took the battle to the gates of judgment, trumpeting the opening call of the conquest of Tiers. 2 armies, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, brought their distinctive sense of order and chaos to the assault. You went to battle alongside the army whose approach best suited your strengths. Standing shield to shield with Kairos' ironclad elite, you advanced a mercenary army purchased by the nobles of the Bastard City. Legions wanted to send a message to Tiers that superior breeding and disciplined training would win the day. You rushed with the chaotic mass of Scarlet Chorus, flanked the Bastard City's army, and drove them to flee. Why is one like way more detailed? I'm just gonna go with the less detailed one. You caught the mercenary army unprepared for the mania and disorder of the Scarlet Chorus. Your forces overwhelmed the Tiers' defenses in a few short hours, hacking and burning their way into the continent. Any mercenaries who survived the battle found themselves initiated into the Scarlet Chorus, tortured by ruthless interrogators, or made the sport of competition as the army marched ruthlessly forward. Okay. judge the enemy. You decided the fate of the enemy soldiers captured in battle. Found a way to feed Kairos' armies. Yeah, I want this one. Soldiers of the Tears fell by hundreds, and Kairos' armies could not agree on how to handle what few survivors to drag back to camp. Befitting your role, commanders turned to you to decide the fate of those who occupied prison pens. There were only enough prisoners to support the plan of single army. This disfavored needed slaves to haul their gear, dig latrines, and keep their pallets warm at night. You co-signed the survivors of battle to their subservient role among Graven Ash's noble troops. You gave the prisoners the chance to serve in Kairos' army or die. Scarlet Chorus was in need of extra troops and would fill up the vanguard, and your former enemies would occupy those slots nicely. So I either enslave them and have them fight, or enslave them and have them do work. Wow, my choices are fucking large. Wounded and demoralized by prior defeat, the soldiers of Tears put up minimal resistance to their new status in Kairos' military. The disfavored enjoyed the luxury of putting others to work, but didn't allow themselves to grow soft, turning away from menial duties and focusing instead on rigorous training regimen that left them alert and eager for combat. You gave the Tears slaves their first assignment, digging a mass grave outside the gates of judgment, where a cloud of flies marked the passage of Kairos' army. The armies of Kairos amassed around the bastard city, the first bastion of the Tears to fall. Both armies longed to storm the walled outpost. Scarlet Chorus, howling for plunder, and the disfavored forming an unbearable shield wall. Your prowess on the field of battle had carried them this far, but there was one more step before total victory. Both of the armies had inspired schemes to take the bastard city. Which do you support? Ooh, you get 3 choices. You joined the disfavored vanguard in a direct assault upon the city gates. No fortification would stand before the unstoppable legion. Join the Scarlet Chorus, setting fire to the city and blocking the gates. Defenders would surrender or burn. This is full-on Oathbringer Stormlight Archives build right here. You led a mixed band of disfavored and Scarlet Chorus scouts over the city walls and sabotage its defenses. Let's just burn it. It was passing strange to barricade the very gates you sought to cross, but it all made sense when the fires began. Scarlet Chorus sent a constant rain of flaming arrows over the walls of the bastard city. A plague that lasted through long days and tireless nights. By the end, the blaze was too much for the city defenders to contain. Citizens crowded at the gates, pleading to be freed from their smoldering city. You and your army were happy to oblige them. When the gates opened, they opened from inside. I'm just a smart guy. Bastard City settled into a new state of normalcy. Yep, I said that right. With every tower displaying Kairos' banner, her name was whispered alongside rumors of decorated career to come. Armies divided into 2 fronts and migrated south. Tunon sent word that you were to join the next frontier of Kairos' conquest, either as judge or overseer of the settlement of Lethian's Crossing, or as a war advisor with the armies advancing into the realm of Apex. Troops of the mountain realm of Apex stood idle in the safety of their valley, biding their time as their neighbors in the bastard tier fell. The second year of war, a joint force of disfavored and Scarlet Chorus crossed over the mountains to take control of the tier's central valley. Deposits of iron made the settlement of Lithian's Crossing a strategic war asset. Kairos sent the forge-bound smith mages of exceptional skill to establish a flow weaponry. Junon, the adjudicator, sent one of his fate binders to ensure the enforcements of Kairos law. Okay, I'm doing this one. It seems a little bit more... I want to be a little bit more involved with this adjudicator, man. So, we'll do this. Lithian's Crossing. Years ago, Lithian the Bold founded a small merchant town at the intersection of ancient old walls. A pact between the settlers and the mercenary company meant the caravans were able to travel without fear of bandits or bane, and the town thrived in modest insignificance. Lithian's Crossing drew Kairos' attention for the iron deposits in the surrounding hills. The region under Kairos' control, the northern smith mages could set up workshops to refine ore and arm the disfavored with the finest weapons in the known world. The Archon of Secrets dismantled the mercenary support with a generous bribe, taking the crossing in a bloodless victory. Tunon dispatched you to travel alongside Kairos' forces and bring order to the region. Ooh, more choices. You found a clever solution to improve production of iron weapons. Archon's songs powered and ensnared the mind of disfavored soldier. Siren, Archon of Song, used her arcane charm to lure locals into joining Kairos' army. As a patroness of the Scarlet Chorus, her efforts were critical to the conscription of new recruits. When an enthralled disfavored soldier joined her cult, his company feared that the Archon was growing out of control and needed to be stopped. Disfavored demanded that the Archon of Song cease her recruitment practices and that they be allowed to violently subdue her cult followers. Loss of soldiers was a significant setback to Scarlet Chorus's conscription efforts. In Scarlet Chorus tradition, you sent the latest batch of cultists to the front lines of Apex campaign. Those who survived were welcome to remain in Kairos' military, and their performance would stand as a testimony to Siren's effectiveness. Yeah, we'll use her cult people. Crazy people, the best of war, I think. I've never been. Scarlet Chorus agreed to transfer Siren's latest recruits to the front lines of the Apex campaign. Your resolution fit their traditional model of conscription, so they considered it a fair alternative. In the weeks to come, more of them returned to active duty than even Siren herself expected, likely owing to their obsessive devotion to the Archon and her enchanting music. How cute. More choices. A forge-bound mage swore allegiance to the Scarlet Chorus, creating a strife between the armies, who protected the city from the attacks of arcane predators. Drawn to the arcane energy around the forges, mystical and predators from the nearby old walls began to raid Lithian's Crossing at all hours. Both of Kairos' armies reserved their strength for the front lines of the war, yet the city required protection. You had to delegate the responsibility somewhere. As the largest army, you tasked Scarlet Chorus with the burden of security. Disfavored took the opportunity to gather their strength. Since the disfavored used most of the iron that came out of Lithian's Crossing, it fell to them to stand as the city's vigilant protectors. Scarlet Chorus enjoyed the necessary reprieve. I think this one's best option. If you're going to use the iron in the city, you should be using it to protect the city. Bitch. Though the disfavored were averse to your ruling, they couldn't argue with the reasoning behind it. They were out in the streets of Lithian's Crossing, patrolling on alert in shifts that lasted day and night in an impressive show of force. They managed to repel several attacks from the predators in districts that would have otherwise suffered great harm. Able to do some good, favors still detested you for keeping them from the battle with their real enemy of tears. So who controlled the crossing? Tragedy struck when the mercenary hired by the voices of Nerat injured a forge-bound artisan, leaving him unable to practice his craft. Tuon ordered the mercenaries to leave the city in the hands of Kairos' more responsible servants. Only a token garrison could be left behind while the armies returned to the front. As Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus showed increasing tension and hostility towards each other, Tunon decreed it best that the only one force controlled the crossing. Known for his official capacity as the Archon of Seekers, the voice of Nerat is equal parts genius and madman. Rumors abound that he can steal the minds of others. Okay. He granted the control to Disfavored because they're using the iron. The Disfavored placed a modest garrison in the settlement of Lithian's Crossing. Though the forest was larger than might needed to police the small settlement, protecting the forge-bound ironsmiths became the true agenda of the defense force, as their magical craftsmen kept the disfavored invasion force suited in iron. Relieved at the departure of Scarlet Chorus, the citizens of Lithian's Crossing felt that they got at least two burdens. You received word from Gavin Ash thanking you for your decision. The forge-bound and their weaponry could not be entrusted to the voices of Nerat. Ooh, I made another decision. Okay, so we're going to continue on with Conquest, but at this point I'm just going to call the first part of this playthrough. It's a little dense with the beginning, but so far I'm enjoying all the lore and all that stuff, so I really, really, really hope everybody continues watching, and I hope you enjoy how the series goes on, so appreciate it. Subscribe and like the video, or I will find you.